Want some, get some. Can I get a hell yeah? Yes, I am a pirate. You have to go with the pirates because, of course, they have cannons and everything. It's a pirate's life for me. Be proud of who you are and what you are. You're pirate.
It is a first down. Pirates.
Because when you're at East Carolina, you go for it every time. Or you don't coach at East Carolina, you don't come to East Carolina, you don't play at East Carolina with a weak heart. Write it.
I think I've ever been in a building as loud as that was. It was deafening in there.
You live with Omaha. I can promise you that.
And it's purple all night long in Eastern North Carolina.
You're watching The Sports Objective, the podcast for Pirates.
Yeah. My heart is purple and gold. I'm a pirate down to my soul. And I don't back down, not at all. Find out when the cannons explode.
All right, welcome into the Pirate Preview as we're previewing the big game on Saturday. And ladies and gentlemen, all the way from the big city, the metropolitan city of LaGrange, North Carolina. I'm talking about Kyle from LaGrange. Barbara, how are you, sir?
What's going on, Dave? Sit here on a Wednesday night. Looking forward to a big game this weekend against Memphis where we have an opportunity to get a big win in the conference, get a big win for the program, and get one step closer to trying to compete for a conference championship. We're going to need some help to get there with Tulane and North Texas needing to lose. But either way, I want to win out whether we get the conference championship game or not. So first things first, this Memphis game's huge.
No doubt. Let's bring in another big guy. I don't think a lot of them. Johnny Stats Robertson. What's up, man?
Hey, fellas. Hey, we're finally here. We've been talking about this Memphis game for over a month, and now the Pirates have done their part, to get us where we need to be. Like Kyle said, we definitely need some help, and a lot of it would have to be almost miraculous, but it doesn't matter. I mean, if we finish 7-1, we don't get to the conference championship game, it's still a great season. And this game, I just can't wait. The weather's supposed to be great. I expect a great crowd. I expect the crowd to stay for the whole game. I expect a close game. And I already have butterflies just, thinking about that game. So
it's already game day for you.
Yeah, already.
You got a few days worth of game day in you. And, we have a big-time game, so I wanted a big-time guest, the one of the last guys to say that he's a conference champion, and that is Brandon Simmons. What's up, man?
What's up, man? How are you? Thank you for having me. Go
no
Pirates.
doubt. And you had two conference championships back-to-back in 08 and 09. And, man, I tell you what, this is a game we, like Johnny said, we've been talking about. Not that the other games are not important, but this is the game, and I'm hearing about how I saw on yesterday about how the Tulane coach and with the Memphis coach, they're up for the Arkansas job, and according to Sports Illustrated, SI.com, and I don't think there's going to be any kind of distractions like that. But I'm just saying this is a huge game, and I'm just going to go ahead and say give a shout out to the administration. $25 lower bowl seats, $12 upper deck seats. Look, I'm bringing, with you count me, 9 people to the game. I have 8 seats plus my credential. I'm sitting in the press box like Kyle loves so much so that I can bring 8 friends, and I want them, all I ask for them is they're not to sit on their hands, for them to be really, really loud. Let's have rowdy dowdy.
Yeah, hopefully the 8 people that are going in your place will be loud. Yeah, no, you enjoy the press box. That's not for me. I want to be, in the crowd being loud. But no, it should be a good atmosphere. We need a good atmosphere. We had around 40,000 for Charlotte. Hopefully we'll have between 40 and 45 for this Memphis game. And the biggest thing is everybody needs to stay for 4 quarters. That's been a real pet peeve of mine and JR's, and we've talked to Dave, everybody, Matt. We've talked about it ad nauseum. People leaving at halftime, and some of that's been blowout, some of that's been Thursday night games, and And even this past Saturday, I think the Thursday night games played into people leaving early Saturday, meaning that they hadn't had a chance to tailgate on a Saturday since that BYU game in mid-September. So I think a lot of people took advantage of that. We were leading big, went outside the tailgate. We can't have that this Saturday. It's going to be a full-quarter game. We need that place to be loud. We need Dowdy Ficklin to be the atmosphere of old this Saturday against Memphis. There's no reason it shouldn't be. We got a good football team. We got a good opponent. JR, you said it almost be miraculous to make the conference championship game. At this point, I don't know about that. Here's why. I haven't really looked into North Texas. We don't play North Texas. They're so head to head. So that one you may need to help me out on. But I really still think Tulane has got to go to Temple, and it's going to be cold. They either Thanksgiving weekend or weekend before Thanksgiving they go to Philly, and it's going to be cold, and that's an empty stadium, and Temple's still playing for bowl eligibility. So I think Tulane still stands a good chance of losing another game.
That's their best chance.
North Texas, on the other hand, what is their remaining conference schedule?
Well, they're playing at UAB, at Rice, and then they get Temple at home in Denton.
So we need Temple to help us twice, really. Now, North Texas, their one conference loss was to South Florida. So
good team.
That doesn't help us at all. So it would just basically come down. So what is the tiebreaker in that equation if it comes down to us to North Texas for second
place? We're forgetting
place?
South Florida and Tulane as well. I mean, they still have to lose a game too.
Well, no, in my scenario, Tulane's losing a game. So South Florida in the championship. So how would it's
okay. I see where you're going. You're putting South Florida in there already. We're trying to determine who they're going to play.
One, yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
So between us and North Texas,
the tiebreaker would be the highest ranked team in the what do you call it? The bowl,
the playoffs. The playoff.
Yeah, the college football playoff poll. Now it's very likely that neither one of them would be in there. Although if North Texas wins out and we win out,
North Texas did. It had. So I saw that we received one vote. Did North Texas receive a vote?
Yeah, they had
they
more
received
than
a
one.
vote too. At least
and that's the coaches poll.
Yeah.
I mean, this is more for the.
But we have more losses than them. I think that might work against us with the voters. But
we're hot at the right time too.
Yeah. It's almost like I hate to say it, we just gotta take it week by week. And this week we gotta win against Memphis.
That's it.
Yeah, and just root for other teams.
What's the remainder of South Florida? What's the remainder of South Florida schedule?
Okay, so at noon on Saturday, I just got an email because I bought tickets from Navy to go to the Navy East Carolina game in Annapolis. So I'm still on their email list. I just got an email earlier today saying the game against South Florida at noon is officially sold out. So they're going to have a good crowd there.
So that's
and it is Navy. Yeah,
okay.
It's in Annapolis.
Navy's lost 2 in a row. You tell me the last time they've lost 3 in a row.
It's been a while.
So they could get South Florida.
That's a hard place to win too. That's a hard place to win. I'm telling you, Navy is.
Remember it took us a 54-yard field goal to win it.
Yeah,
it's tough.
Bottom line is there's some opportunities.
Yes,
for teams to lose. Yeah. First things first, we just need to handle our business.
That's it. That's it.
Well, let's revisit it next week.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah. First, I know Brandon, you're a coach. Coach speak. We'll take one game at a time.
That's all you can do, man. That's all you can do.
Memphis is on the dock, and I'm really fired up about this game, Kyle. I really feel like the one thing that makes me feel happy about this game is the fact that it's in Greenville. That part right there. I think that is the difference. That's why the fan base that we have the best fan base. You just got to show up and look. Guess what? There's plenty of time to tailgate. You have 2 hours before the game to tailgate. You can tailgate after the game.
Yeah. Because the game starts at 3:00, so it's like
4 o'clock.
4 o'clock. I'm sorry. Yeah. It's still
more time.
Early. It's still early. Like on the Memphis schedule, it's crazy because on the Memphis schedule they got 3:00. But 4 o'clock. Central time. Yeah. So Yeah, you got plenty of time to tailgate. So yeah, I mean, come on.
And furthermore, guys like Johnny, I give them credit. They do go out at halftime, but they come back. Nobody's saying that you have to sit in your seats the whole time. But what we're saying is if you go out, come back in. Like, why are you buying season tickets if you're not going inside and watching the game? That's crazy.
Yeah,
I do it for a reason, though. I don't do it to go out and drink or eat or any of that stuff. I have my own reason, which Kyle knows what it is, and I'm not sure I want to share it.
Okay.
Yeah.
He has to bow to Mecca. No.
No, I move my vehicle. I move my truck. Normally, I get there. I got to park far away. Everybody leaves at halftime, and I go and I move my truck closer because I got a lot of stuff, to carry out, and that's normally what I do. I usually move it right into the tailgate lot because there's nobody there.
But the point we're trying to make is just everybody, please don't leave early this week. We need everybody for 4 quarters. But let's talk about the game. Memphis comes to town coming off a loss to Tulane. They got a couple of really nice wins on the season against South Florida, against Arkansas. So beating an SEC school, beating South Florida. Both those games were in Memphis. You look, they got upset on the road against UAB when their quarterback got knocked out, Lewis. He's been banged up. He got knocked out again against Tulane. He's listed as day-to-day. My guess, if you put a gun in my head, because they got 2 freshmen behind him, JR, I think he's going to go even at 50%. Yes, even at 50%, I think they're going to start him. I'm not sure he'll make it the full game, but unless he just absolutely can't go, I think he'll play. Would y'all agree with that?
Yes,
yeah,
100%.
And to add on to that, I personally think that they're going to rely on their running game to keep the pressure off of him. I think that they're going to get it out quick. They're going to try their best to avoid taking unnecessary shots, and they just want him in the game to run offense.
And he runs the ball a lot. I mean, that's part of what he does. And so with an injured leg, he's going to be limited.
Yeah, very limited. Yes,
that's another reason why I like our chances.
Here's the deal.
Do you have any more intel? Are you hearing what I'm hearing just day to day?
Well, yeah. If you listen to the offensive coordinator from Memphis, they have 3 quarterbacks that are all equal. It doesn't matter who plays. Every one of them is just as good as the other.
They always say that. They always say that.
Well, if you look at the stats, obviously, first of all, Lewis is a redshirt senior. The other 2 are freshmen.
Lewis went off the UAB.
And but here's one thing: that Lewis, the injury, ever since he's been dinged up, they haven't been able to run the ball. Even the running backs can't run it because they don't have to worry about him running so much.
Exactly.
Just a real quick stat. Okay, so the first 5 games of the season, Memphis averaged 247.2 yards a game rushing and 200 passing. Now, the last 5 games they've played, they're averaging 131 yards rushing, which is half pretty much. But they're passing it for 285 yards. So they've switched over. They're now a passing team. I think it's because Lewis just doesn't have the mobility. He went in and out of the game against. It was wild how many times he was substituted for and came back in. At one point, he threw an interception, and then the next series they let the true freshman come in and play, and he drove them down and they got a touchdown. And then Lewis came back in to run the 2-point conversion, which was a successful pass to the tight end. That kid Maiden, the true freshman, Arrington Maiden, he didn't throw his first collegiate pass until the last drive of the game that stalled out on the 30-yard line. And he did complete 4 passes in a row, but overall, I mean, he just has no experience passing the ball. So you can say what you want about him being just as good as Lewis. We know that's not true.
Nah. And there's something to say for experience. And again, I mean, at the end of the day, like it just does something different to your offense. I mean, when there's a difference between the offensive lineman looking at a seasoned quarterback versus a freshman. I mean, even if the freshman is talented, there's a calm demeanor that the senior will give that huddle that a freshman just won't give.
Right. And we always talk about whatever level coach when you're the high school level, but then you go to college level, as you know, being a coach and a player, the game slows down
Tremendously.
And if I'm a freshman and I've never been to a place like Dowdy Ficklin, the Brockmeyer like we had with BYU, that kid is special. Not every freshman that comes into Dowdy Ficklin is going to play like he did.
But that's what it's going to take. Like, that's what it's going to take, because just observing the way ECU plays defense. I'm not even talking about the offense. Just looking at the way they play defense, their pressure packages, they move around. Their defensive backs can stay in front of receivers. Their linebackers are running alleys. Their safeties are running alleys. Like, we have a very athletic defense, and they don't stay still long at all. Like, right. So it's. They're gonna send the pressure.
And another thing is Johnny helped me out on this. You guys know, but our run defense is lights out. I mean,
it is.
I know that.
Very
What
athletic.
is Johnny again?
Yeah, unfortunately, everybody knows that. We're not gonna sneak up on anybody with that.
No, I'm just saying that my point is that if they're already having trouble running the ball because of Lewis being hurt and not 100%. And then our defense, they're going to make it. In other words, you're going to have to beat us again.
Throwing the ball.
With that said, they still also beat South Florida, and they almost beat Tulane.
Oh, I know.
In these last 5 games, what I would think Memphis is going to do, particularly if Lewis starts, and I don't know what their backup quarterbacks look like, honestly. Because our weakness on defense is giving up the deep ball. I think they're going to try to hit us deep early.
Yes.
Early and often. I think they're going to try to go deep, try to get a lead. And they're a much better second half team so far this year. That their MO is to play better in the second half on offense. But I think on the road they're going to try to hit us early and try to take deep shots early. So I would be ready for that if I was, our defensive staff. That's my theory. I think this is going to be a football game of spurts, if that makes sense. I think Memphis is going to go on a run, and then we're going to go on a run. Memphis is going to go on a run, then we're going to go on a run. And we'll get into predictions and all later on in the show. We haven't played them since 22. But the last 2 times we played Memphis, both games went to overtime.
Yeah. Hey, Kyle, I think you're looking at my notes somehow. I don't know.
How about
because
Clarence?
Hold on. I was going to say the deep shot. I was going to mention that. Glad you brought it up, because there's a guy. He's a 7th-year senior. He's one of the few players I know that played 3 years of community college football at Hutchinson. I'm not sure how. COVID year. So that was during COVID. So he got 3 years in junior college. He's in his 7th season. He played last year at Nevada when Lewis was the quarterback there. So they know each other well. And he's had 3 100-yard games, including the last game against Tulane. He had 11 receptions and 113 yards. So he's a big guy, very fast, runs great routes. And Lewis is familiar with him. So that's the guy that worries me a little bit. His name's Cortez Bram Jr.
Yep. Yeah, no, and he's somebody we need to look out for. I'm sure they're going to try to put him up against Lowry. We need to be smart with our coverages. We're going to bring pressure, so we're going to leave some guys on an island. That's what we do. We're just going to have to make sure we get to the quarterback.
That's it.
But I do expect them to take deep shots early, and I do think it's going to be a game of runs. I really do. I think you can see Memphis jump up 10-0, then us answer back. Suddenly it's 10-10, then it'd be 17-10, then 17-7. I really think it's going to be a back and forth game of runs all day. I could be wrong, but that's kind of my hunch. Is this is going to be one team's going to be hot, and then the other team's going to be hot. It's going to be back and forth all day.
Well, we need to get win the toss and get the ball first. We talked about that. I think it was Sunday night, but I usually defer. But I want the ball first.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm kind of, you would, probably in this situation, because that way you can make Memphis play from behind on the road. So if you can, take it in the end zone on the first possession, but it's to me, it's neither here nor there. I think that's really one of the more overthought things in sports. Of you win the toss, don't win the toss. I mean, you're either going to get it first in the first half or first in the second half. It's going to be what it's going to be. It is. I am curious to know what they would choose to do. It seems like we never win a damn toss. But
Right.
if we do, it'd be interesting to see what they choose. Do we want the ball first, or are we going to defer?
Yeah, and I think we'll defer. If we win the toss, I think we'll defer just because since they're strong in the second half, right? That gives us the ball at the top of the third. And since most of our fans are going to be in the building in the first quarter, I think that the defense, Coach Blake will want the defense to feed off the crowd early so that we can, put them in a bad situation. And to add on to what you were just talking about, Kyle, as far as them taking shots downfield, well, I do think they're going to take those shots, but the downside about taking shots downfield, as you know, is that you got to hold the football. And I think early on, I think that they'll have max protection shots downfield, right? But I think early on, they're going to try to get it out quick, like with some quick games. Since they know we have a nice pressure package, I think they'll throw some fast screens, that type of stuff, and then try to run the ball when they have to. But when they do take those shots, it's going to be more like max protection because they don't want to expose their quarterback to some of those late hits. So, but good point on you on that.
And you make a great point too with Brandon, with the fact that we know this. Nobody's saying it's going to be a blowout either way. It's going to be
no way.
A tight game.
Good teams.
This is a really good football game that we're getting ready to have on Saturday. More reason, again, we'll say it a lot during this show, for we need 40. I'm not saying we're going to get 50,000, but if we could get 43,000, I'll take 43,000. If I can sign a contract, where's the contract? I'll sign the contract right now. 43,000 loud fans that stay the whole game. Sign me up for that. And you make a great point with the fact that they throw those deep shots and we have the coverages there and it's quickly 3 and out. And then, oh wow, your defense has got to keep coming on the field.
Yeah.
Our offense is no joke. Our offense is finally, I know you're an offensive guy, Brandon. I know you're probably going, my God, one of these guys, they finally are starting to seem like they are finally like peaking at the right time when it comes to offense.
Yeah, well, just observing the offense, like I really think that we, like, all year long we've had a solid offense. It's just we were turning the ball over early and often. As of late, they've been doing a better job of protecting the football, and I do think that this game is going to boil down to possessions. And if we, like, for example, what done us in against BYU? I was at the game, you guys was at the game, turn the ball over, right? So if we protect the football, we'll be okay. But if we, throwing interceptions, fumbling the ball, then it's going to be hard to beat a team like Memphis. That's just what it is. So if we protect the football and just do what we've been doing offensively, we'll be okay. And just let the defense, our defense versus their offense, play the game.
Yeah, I agree, Brandon. People don't realize that BYU game was much closer.
It was closer. Yes, it was.
That pick, we threw 2 picks in the red zone. One
in the red zone.
One in their red zone and one in our red zone. Mm-hmm. And so that was 7 points we gave them, and then 7 points potentially we took from ourselves. That's a
and then they blew it open in the second half.
Yeah, but it was definitely a closer game than it looked. So you're right. Turnovers, we can't have them.
No, can't have them.
And our turnover ratio, a margin right now, are we still like, is it +4, +5?
I think we're going towards the middle. We were in the top third with turnover ratio. I think we're like +5 now, which is 0.075 per game or something like that.
That's the best we've been in since 22.
Yeah, we've had a fumble the last 2 weeks. We don't need to do that this week.
You're talking to a guy that ran the football. He knew how to.
It's hard, man. Like, I mean, you guys been following football for quite some time. It doesn't matter what level you're on. When you're turning the ball over, it is hard to win. That's just what it is. And when you're playing a team like Memphis, they'll make you pay. They'll make you pay. if you turn the ball over.
No doubt. And they that fan base, with basketball, how much they love basketball. But I tell you what, they've had some good football teams over the years.
Yes, they
They've
have.
got good football coaches. They've got great coaching. They have a lot. But having said that, I really believe, and I want to put this up. I want to get your guys' take on this. First of all, thank you, Kenny. He said, Brandon, thank you for being a great Pirate on the field and now off the field in life.
Appreciate it, man. Once a Pirate, always a Pirate.
That's right. Kenneth Maynard says Memphis played all their toughest games at home. That is a huge factor.
Very true.
Kenneth, thank you for bringing that up. I was going to talk about, again, that's why I give us the slight edge. We'll talk about our predictions at the end of the show, a nice tease there like we like to do, but we'll have our predictions at the end of the show about who's going to win the game and all that. And you can put your questions and comments for Brandon here. Let's see. Kenneth says, to me, Memphis is a conference opponent I look forward the most to playing. The two best fan bases in America in terms of attendance. Well, that's true because you have places that we've added that it was more important for the market over the program, but that's a whole nother show. And I don't want to steal Kyle's thunder on that because we've been talking about that for the last few years. But anyway, love to be able to break down the game some more. What do you guys think about special teams? I haven't had a chance to look at special teams for Memphis, but I will say, Brandon, as a guy that played for East Carolina, how big of a weapon is Maisie? Like the dude went let's see, 6 for 6 for extra points, and he made a 50-yarder and a 40-yarder last week.
And that's the hidden element that not enough people are talking about is the special teams. As long as if you win 2 of the 3 phases of the game, you're going to be successful. And as long as we're, making our field goals, flipping the field, right? Not giving up explosives when we kick the ball off, right? Because we're going to score, right? That type of stuff, not a lot of people talking about, but those hidden yardage, I mean, that's huge. That's huge on Saturday. That's huge.
Yeah, our kicker's fantastic this year. I think he's what is he now? 11 of 13 for field goals for the year, something like that.
That's impressive.
Yeah,
as many.
and he, particularly red hot here lately. Kicked a 40-yarder and a 50-yarder.
Yes.
We don't want to jinx him, but against Charlotte, and so that's the strength for us. We have a kicker we can trust. Our punting game, man, it kind of is what it is. Kickoff coverage, punt coverage has been good so far this year. That needs to continue on Saturday. I have no idea what Memphis is on special teams. JR, any idea what Memphis has on special teams for its kicking game and return game?
Well, I mean, they have an advantage in punting. I mean, I don't like to call out players individually. I'd just say the punting game in general is not good for us. Neither net punt or average punt. I mean, we're at the bottom in both of them, and Memphis is in the upper half. That's talk about flipping a field. Kick return coverage, you just don't get a lot of, there's very little of that happening. Charlotte had that guy that's really good, but you rarely see a long kickoff return anymore. So, that part of it is pretty much a wash. The punting part, though, how's
their field goal kicker?
That I'm not sure about.
Okay.
He's as far as I can tell you what he's done. I mean, I don't know what range he's had or anything. I can.
What's his numbers?
He's 12 out of 15.
Okay.
That's solid. Yeah, that's solid. Now to add on to what you just said about the whole punt thing, so based off the statistics what you just shared with the net punt, that tells me that our offense has to be okay with starting off backed up, right? Like inside the 20. And if we can handle that element of the game, I think we'll be fine. Now, if we're like it starting off on let's say the 15 and we're rattled, right? Like we're making mistakes, that can change a lot of stuff too. So that's something else to pay attention to on Saturday is the punt units.
No doubt. Here's something Robert Dedrick brings up. whoever shows up, be loud. Memphis is prone to false starts.
Yeah, they've done it twice.
Interesting.
They've lost 2 games. Well, the 2 games that they lost, first of all, UAB, they had the ball 2nd and 1 on the UAB 1, got a false start. Then it was 2nd and 6. They couldn't get the ball in, so they didn't, even have a chance to tie it. And then against Tulane, they had a 4th and 3, and that was when Arrington Maiden was in at quarterback at the Tulane 30, and the false start turned it into 4th and 8. And then they had to change the play call, and he's just not comfortable throwing the ball, and it wasn't a very good pass. And they had good coverage, and it would have been much easier to convert a 4th and 3. So yeah, the false starts are not their friend so far.
Yeah, 2 examples you gave. Lewis won in for either one of those, so that'll be a big factor, particularly if Lewis isn't in the game. Be loud. You can influence. You can have influence on the game. You call some false starts. We want to take every advantage we can within the rules of the game and be as loud as you possibly can.
No question about it. And Craig is asking Johnny, where do we rank in punts per game, regardless of distance? Well, one thing is we're not punting as much because we
punted 29 times, and Charlotte's punted 49. So there's and Temple has as well, but Temple's played 1 more game. Memphis has punted 33 times, but they've played 1 more game. So we're about, that's 3.3 per game, and we're right about there. We're 3.4. So,
sounds like you go for it on 4th down every time.
There you go, man. At EC, you go for it every time, baby.
That's right. FAU, they do that. They just that's why they're a little bit dangerous. Yeah. Like that's why I'm hoping that they might be able to pull up some type of upset this weekend, because they go for it on 4th down.
Yes, they do.
In their own territory. They don't care. What are they going to lose at this point? So they're playing at Tulane, and Tulane's offense
FAU, baby, FAU. Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm just hoping they can convert some of these 4th downs.
I hope FAU can beat Tulane, but I think Tulane's physicality is going to get to FAU.
I heard Coach. Well, I heard him, Coach, Coach Kitley? I actually heard him speak at the AFCA around January, and I think he's just accepted the job. But yeah, he's a statistics guy. At the end of the day, he's gonna go for it every time. I mean, he's gonna play the percentages and put the pressure on his defense and just live with whatever comes of it. So backed up, he'll go for it.
Yeah, and by the way, we had a question here too. Hold on one second. Where is Peacecraft 2149 asks, can someone break down how we make the college football playoffs if possible?
It's possible. Yeah. Okay, this is what would have to happen. We got to win out.
Yep.
We would have to make the conference championship game. So let's just say. Let's say North Texas and Tulane get beat. So now we're playing
South Florida in the
championship game, and they're ranked. We beat South Florida. JMU loses either between now and the conference championship game or in the conference championship game. And is there anybody else out there? Is there anybody?
Well, San Diego State took themselves out last weekend.
Okay,
they got whacked at Hawaii pretty good, so they're out. UNLV's out, and Boise State. I guess I don't think. I mean, that's a weak conference now. The Mountain West they don't have any good. They don't have any.
So that's what would have to happen. We would have to make the conference championship game, beat a ranked South Florida or North Texas in the conference championship game, and James Madison would have to lose between now and then, and we would stand a very good chance to be in the playoff then. Yeah. It's not as crazy as it sounds. I know
it does sound crazy, but you're right, though.
No, I mean, the fact that San Diego State lost because their remaining schedule wasn't very strong. So I was worried that they just weren't going to lose. But James Madison, okay, so they have to play Washington State at home next week. And then they got to go to Coastal Carolina. So, and then, they have to go to the conference championship game, which may be Southern Miss, maybe somebody else, most likely Southern Miss.
Southern Miss, baby. We got to pull
any of those teams. Yep. We give James a call and tell him to, get out there and yell. And Anything could happen. Like Kyle said, we're not out of it. I just
Nah.
felt that we had to have Memphis win last week against.
Just win, man. Just
Tulane.
win, man. Just
Yeah.
let's win these games.
We take the
Let's see
fun
what
out of
happens.
it if we worry about what other teams aren't going to do. Let's just worry about what we're going to do. And normally I'm not like that.
Let's see what happens.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm gonna be watching though. I'm gonna be paying attention to
Well, here's
what's
the whole
going on.
thing. It don't matter what anybody else does if we don't win. So
It
none of
really
it makes
doesn't.
a damn if we don't win. So first things first is take care of Memphis, and that's what's in front of us. And you know, we've been talking. You know, it in many ways it really is the biggest game of the year. You know, after if you beat Memphis, then you know UTSA becomes the biggest game of the year.
Yes.
But you know, this is a game that we've had circled. This is a game, you know, we wanted Memphis to beat Tulane because then they would have eliminated Tulane. Memphis would have came in ranked.
Yep.
So unfortunately, we don't get a ranked Memphis, but it's still a damn good Memphis team.
It's a good team.
This is big time college football. It's, you know, ESPNU 4:00, almost prime time. It'll end in prime time. This is a game I'm looking forward to, and this is one that you know I'll pose the question here. I said if they were ranked and we beat them, the students would storm the field. If unranked, if we win it in dramatic fashion, and we win it on a last second field goal, if we win it on in overtime, do you guys think the students rush the field?
Absolutely, 1,000. No? They probably won't be there to rush the field.
I don't think that they'll rush the field just because they don't have a number beside them. But I do think that the crowd will go crazy. I really do, because at this point, by taking care of Memphis, all we have to do is win out, and you know the season is going to be a major success. Not to say that that's not the case right now, but there's a lot of people that understand the importance of this game. And I do think I think everybody's going to be in the building. I really do. I think there's going to be a lot of people there, but because we're talking about how important this game is over and over and over, I think that thing going to be rocking, man. Like, I'm getting excited even thinking about it.
JR, if we win it in dramatic fashion, do you think the students rush the field?
Kyle will.
No, I don't.
I might rush the field, man. Hey, why not?
I'm going to make a prediction that only if we win it in dramatic fashion, not any of the grown folks. I'm talking about the students.
Wait a minute now.
I'm predicting the students rush the field if we win it in dramatic fashion.
Okay. Will there be any pencil rolls executed
by Kyle?
No, there will be no pencil rolls executed.
One of these days we'll get you to do it. One of these days. Pencil rolls it is. I mean, if it takes you doing pencil rolls for us to be in the conference championship, the title game.
David, at this point, you could lay $1 million on the field and I wouldn't do a pencil roll out of purpose.
Wow. Johnny, would you do it for $1 million?
Absolutely. I'd do it twice. I'm not even sure what one is. So maybe I better look it up before I agree. It's $1 million. I think I'm doing it.
Picture a pencil, make yourself into a pencil, and then just start rolling down the field.
What do you think, Brandon? How hard are the pencil rolls?
Man, they look very, very hard. So buyers beware. Be careful. That's what I'm saying. Be careful.
Let's just say that a certain coach at East Carolina, non-football, made his team do that a few years ago, and it's not fun. I would say that's the equivalent of up downs are not fun, even if you're coaching and you're like discipline. But anyway, Alan Vick is asking, what the hell is a pencil roll?
I'm really to the point where I'm sick of hearing about pencil rolls. If you didn't catch the $1 million on the field out of purpose thing at this point, so I'd really like to move on from pencil rolls forever.
What about cinnamon rolls? Anyway, let's get back to the game. I know that you were talking about. Oh man. Anyway, I know you guys with this game, looking at it. I'll tell you another thing, Brandon, and guys, I'm really happy with is getting the ball, getting the touches to Yannick Smith. Yannick Smith is the real deal.
Yes, he is.
Back several weeks ago when we were not quite there with the offense, I've been saying I've been worried about him transferring. I'm not trying to start rumors. I'm just saying give the guy the ball. And all of a sudden in the last couple of weeks, man, he's getting the touches. He's getting the targets that I feel like he deserves.
Yeah, Yannick's getting the ball a lot more. Yannick's a weapon. He's somebody we need to utilize. He'll need to step up in this game. All our receivers are going to need to step up in this game. And then the running back position, which is your Brandon played running back. And we've gotten so much better in the running game as the years
Yes,
gone
we
on.
have.
The rotation has been more solidified with Montgomery, Gunn, and then the young man.
Engelman.
Thank you,
Hey.
Engelman.
Engelman, yeah.
Yeah, Engelman's done a good job. The one fumble, but besides that, he's got a lot of burst. So I like the rotation. It seems to be way more stabilized. We're still using the young man from Houston. Name escapes me right now.
Walker Jenkins.
Yeah, it's on punt returns, kick returns. But Montgomery has stepped up big time, and
Yes, he has.
we need all our playmakers: Montgomery, Gunn, Engelman. The law firm of Smith and Smith at receiver.
That's a good one.
Spalding.
Brock Spalding. We need all those guys to make plays this week.
Do their part, man.
We can't have drop balls this week.
Nope.
We can't have overthrow. You're gonna have an overthrow. It's going to happen. We can't have them excessively. And you when you get a chance to break a run, you got to break a run. This is a game. Effort is going to make a difference, and not that we don't always have good effort. Effort is one thing, but we need. I don't say perfect execution because I don't. Memphis is not friggin'. It's not Notre Dame. We don't have to be perfect, but we need to be really, really good this week. From an execution standpoint, and we got to get the ball in playmakers' hands and make plays. We need to be creative, and this will be another game probably where Blake will take some chances. We've seen him do it on fake punts, fake field goals.
Yeah.
I would expect to see more of that this week.
Agree, man. And you brought up the strength of the running game. I mean, for example, London. I mean, he was averaging 7.7 a clip, right? And Engelman, he was averaging 4.4 clip. And what that does is that keeps pressure off of our quarterback. Finding those receivers, you're gonna have one-on-one matchups on the outside and maybe in the slot. So, if we continue to run the ball that efficiently, we're gonna be okay offensively.
Yeah, I agree. I think London's had a touchdown in each of his last 3 games.
He's coming out, man.
Yeah.
Very nice, very shifty, and credit to our offensive line, man, for moving people out the way, man.
That's true for
well
sure.
right now.
Hey,
JR, you're breaking up on my end.
I think also, so that could work in our favor.
Brandon, did you hear JR there?
No, I didn't. Say that again, JR.
I said I feel like when we play Memphis, we don't normally have the speed advantage, but I feel like this season we do.
Yeah, we are fast. That's it's funny because I was just talking to some of the buddies this past weekend, and that's one of the first things that we noticed collectively during pregame was how twitchy we are, how fast we were. And there was many times, and I know it's UNC Charlotte, right? But there was many times where, we just looked like the faster, more explosive team. But I'm not downplaying this win against Charlotte because last time I checked last season, they beat us. You know what I mean? So a win is a win. But yeah, we're definitely more athletic in certain areas, and we are fast. We're faster than what people think.
Brandon, Coach Harold Robinson, that we miss a lot, Rob, God rest his soul. But he in high school, I wasn't even a player, but I was close to him, and he said, "David, you can't coach speed." And we talked about that. And Johnny was the one. I got to give Johnny credit. Johnny was the one that told me. He said he talked to the coaches, and remember that, Johnny? That was spring game or sometime around there.
That was in a baseball game against Coastal Carolina.
Yeah.
It's
I saw a couple.
You can't coach speed, and in today's game, you either have it or you don't. And if you don't have it, it's going to be hard to win games in today's college football. That's just what it is.
Yeah, no doubt. And
so we've talked about Memphis' offense quite a bit, and we've talked about our offense. But what about Memphis' defense? They seem to be giving up quite a few points this year. They've been outscoring a lot of people. I don't think here recently. Now they played good opponents, but here recently their defense has struggled some. JR, statistically, are they struggling more against the pass or the run?
Well, here's the deal. In the last 3 games, they've been outscored 38-76 in the first half, and we've outscored our opponents 87-42. So does that mean if those trends continue, we should have a nice lead at halftime? And it doesn't, it never transfers that way. But yeah, they're having a hard time in the first half. I don't know. The coach must have a heck of a halftime speech or something, because they are playing much better.
And they've done it all year, going back to the Arkansas game. That game was over with at halftime, you thought, and then
you're right.
They came roaring back. So they've done that all year. So that's another thing for the folks who like to leave early. If we have a big lead at half, don't, because it probably won't last. It's going to be a 4-quarter game, but statistically, JR, more so.
Okay, so I would say that they're giving up more. They're giving up more pass yardage for sure. I mean, they give up an average of, I don't know what the average is, but they've given up 2,300 in pass yardage and 1,279 in run yardage. So that's pretty significant. That's almost 2-to-1 pass to run.
So there you go. Yeah, we're going to need to take advantage of hit the shots that are there.
Yep.
And and that's one thing. If our game plan is to throw more than run, sometimes in big games, Hauser has a tendency to get off to a slow start. Tulane, NC State, he can't do that this week. They tend to give up most of their points in the first half. Not saying we can't do it in the second half, but don't need a slow start this week by Hauser. And the good thing, I didn't think Hauser, he didn't throw a pick, but I didn't. He played well Saturday, but it ain't like he lit it up.
Right.
So he may be due to have a big game. Hauser hasn't had he's been a good quarterback here for a season and a half, but Hauser hasn't had a heroic moment. He hasn't had last year with the in the bowl game, that was Rajay. So could this be the game where Hauser makes the big play towards the end of the game to win us the game? I think it's time for him to step up and do something like that. You can almost feel it coming.
Yeah. And I agree with you while you was talking. I was just looking at his numbers from Saturday, and we know what we saw as well, but I mean his completion percentage was 63%. 41 attempts, completed 26 of them, longest being 20. And that just tells me that, he took a lot of check downs, right? Yep. And he also took 2 sacks. But right now, he's turning into a truck, right? So you have trucks and trailers, right? He's turning into a truck, but when he tries to press it too much, the mistakes happen. So to add on what you just said, I just think that if he just lets the game come to him, connect on those layups, right? Use his legs, move around, not off platform, but off schedule plays, right? Calculated off schedule plays. I think he could have a big game because there's based off the numbers that Jared just shared. There's going to be plenty of opportunities in the passing game. We just don't want to get to a situation where he's pressed and he's forcing it against 3 defenders and throwing across his body. Like, nah, man, let's avoid that. But this calculated shots.
I was going to make that point. I'm glad you brought that up, Brandon, about the fact that I believe that the very thing of don't try to do things like let whatever the defense gives you.
You take the layups, man. Let it come to you.
He's too good of a quarterback to get, trying to make things happen they're not there. And like you said, throwing across his body, all the stuff that not good footwork and throwing off, like all that kind of stuff. And the mechanics, when like it's almost like you don't want to have that sense of panic, sense of urgency, and sense of panic are two different things.
Yes.
And I think that when he's on his game is when you see that methodical, like it's like
that part. Yes.
Yeah. And not where he's going, checking down, look at all that, and then throwing a pass. And then like in the BYU game,
you're a mind reader, because that's exactly what I saw in the BYU game. Like in the part of the reason why those interceptions happen in the red zone is because, so for those who don't know, in the red zone, the reason why it's hard to score touchdowns, especially when it comes to throwing the ball, is because the windows are tighter, right? And as we're marching close, so 30-30 offense, that's fine, right? But when you start getting to the red zone, it starts to get a lot harder because the defense are playing man coverage. A lot of the big boys are up front, and you have to have guys to win one-on-ones. And as a quarterback, you have to be accurate. Well, against BYU, he saw the moment. I mean, he's forcing it into coverage. And as soon as it left his hands, I'm just like, no. And then it's an interception. I'm just like, that's going to happen. But hopefully, based off of the way he's been playing, he's learned from those mistakes. But right now it's not the time to go back to those same mistakes, So I do think he learned from that.
And we don't, and that's the thing. I'm sorry, Johnny, I was just going to add quickly. The great thing about Hauser is there's a whole bunch of weapons around him.
Yes,
he don't have to, he does not have to put the team on his back, meaning that trying to make things happen. You've got plenty. Well, for example, we had 5 explosive plays on Saturday, being 15 yards or more, and 5 different players.
Yes.
Whereas the game before, we had I think it was 13 explosive plays with 6 or 7 players. But the point is, he's got plenty of guys. So if we had one good receiver, you can just double team that guy. No, you need to be paying attention to. Another thing I want to add to you guys, I've noticed in the last few weeks, have you guys noticed that we're getting more touches and more targets for our tight ends? Because the tight ends have become another wrinkle that I don't think we had in the first half of the year.
We did, though. I mean, NC State, that really started our comeback.
About what I'm saying is that I've noticed that what I'm saying is not like individual games. I'm just talking about if you look at the whole resume. I've noticed recently that we're really, I guess the word is, Johnny, maybe I'm not using the right word, we're more consistent with the tight ends now, where I felt like there was a time where we kind of got away from them, or maybe you could argue, Brandon, they were not getting open. I don't know what the case, or they were not running the right route. I don't know what the case.
We got 2 good ones, that's for sure.
Well, it was system wise. So basically, the main reason why our run game is coming alive is because we're utilizing our tight ends in the run game or wings, right? Like we're doing that a lot. When you're so all that really is just like 11 personnel, right? And what that does is it forces defenders to be one-on-one on the outside. But by you adding another blocker into the box, the defense has to make a decision. And you also have mismatches against linebackers. So what's been happening is, as of late at least, we've been running the ball more. We've been getting our tight ends more involved in the passing game, and that's been opening up our outside receivers. Well, if you're in a true spread where it's just receivers and a running back and a quarterback and 5 linemen, you got to have a mobile quarterback to account for the numbers on the defensive side, and that puts a lot more pressure on your quarterback to be more accurate. So by utilizing those tight ends, that's actually helping our quarterback and our run game out a lot more, because it's removing defenders out of coverage, and it's it's getting an extra blocker in for our running back. So I love the fact that we are utilizing our tight ends more, and it just helps everybody out. It takes a lot of pressure off the quarterback.
Johnny, this is for you. Kenny's asking for Johnny. Give these guys Hauser's stats, please.
Well, there's so much. What specifically do you want, Kenny?
He had said Caton has been a really good quarterback. He didn't need to throw a lot Saturday. Also, he had 2 drops that would have put him in over 300 yards.
Yes, correct.
He had 4 touchdowns with 2 drops.
Yeah.
Anthony
Hey,
Smith was
I was going to ask Dave, ask you, Brandon, if he'd heard anything. Okay, so before Anthony Smith dropped that ball, that would have been a touchdown. He came to
Yes,
the
wide
sideline
open,
shaking.
wide
Yeah,
open.
yeah, but he came to the sideline shaking his right hand like he had a stinger or something. I don't know. He walked over. I was sitting behind like the tent, the blue tent.
Yeah.
He didn't go in there, but he walked over to there and he was shaking his hand. And then a few other people came over to him and looked at his hand. But I don't know if he heard it or what. But
He probably took a helmet to the hand, most likely.
Yeah,
probably.
that sounds about right. Yeah, that touchdown was wide open, man. Like when I saw that safety step down and I saw the receiver run behind him and he put that ball in the air, I said, "Oh, this 6 points right here. Let's go ahead and stand up."
Okay, Brandon. So how about the second half? I asked somebody else that's a football coach this question. I'd be interested in your answer. Okay, so he would have had another 56-yard touchdown, but the DB knew he was beat and tackled him. And then they ended up, only having to give us 15 yards, and which took it to the 41. We ended up scoring in 3 plays anyhow. But do you ever use that strategy? Like, do you tell your guys, hey, if you're beat,
of course, yeah. If you get beat, you tackle them. Like anything is better than giving up a touchdown, right?
Yeah, I thought it was a great play.
Yeah. That's a strategy that defensive coaches teach all the time. And at the end of the day, I'd rather live another down than to give up a touchdown, right? Because as we all know, I don't care what level is on, it's hard to march the ball all the way down the field to score. Like, which is part of the reason why most people want explosive plays. But to ask an offense to have to put together a 15, 16, 17 play drive, that is very hard to do. So if you have a defensive player that's beat and you tackle the receiver and it's just a pass interference compared to a touchdown, absolutely.
Yeah, just surprised we don't see it more often, I guess.
Oh, well, a lot of times the defensive players want that interception. They want that interception more so than the PI because they view the PI as like a how do you call it? Like a shame, right? Yeah, because you got beat, right?
You're admitting defeat.
Yeah, that's it. That's exactly it.
Well, whatever it takes to win this ball game. I mean,
whatever it takes.
Yeah, well, we definitely have to, Johnny. I know we were talking about this, Brandon. We've definitely done a much better. Speaking of penalties, we've done a much better job with playing cleaner football. And if you take away that 15-yarder for the celebration, unsportsmanlike conduct, we had no penalties, right, Johnny?
Well, that was a dead ball foul anyhow. So, like I said earlier, I'll take that if the 15 yards is on the kickoff, and it's a result of us scoring a touchdown. And he took that for. Caton handed him the ball specifically to do that, and I don't blame McCrimmon. Spike it. Now Blake said,
"Don't do it this week."
Yeah, Blake said, "Okay, now next time bring me the ball and I'll spike it." So maybe that's a better plan going forward. But I can live with one penalty for 15 yards if it came after a touchdown.
That's discipline right there. That's discipline.
That to me. Yeah, I'm sorry. I was just going to say. That penalty drive, that particular thing, I'm sorry, but spiking a football goes all the way back to when you're a kid on the playground.
Yes, it does.
That is not taunting to me. That's not throwing a football at somebody or like cussing at or different things you could do that you could get a flag for. To me, people don't, and Brandon, because you played football and now coaching it, how hard it is to score. We're talking about scoring. And when you score, there's nothing wrong with that. I don't understand. I just don't want to have anyway, I don't want to get off.
Okay, I want to add to that though, Dave, if I can.
Okay.
I feel like spiking has been replaced by spinning. And I'll tell you, Yannick is one of the best spinners I've ever seen with the football after a score. That's an art, man. I've tried doing it and I can do it a little bit, but
you just have to flick the wrist, grab the nose, and just flick it.
I enjoy watching.
You call Yannick Smith a spinner?
No, Kyle, I wasn't. No, that's you going off track. Your mind's going off track there.
All right, that's right. So we're going to highlight that tape. Your exact words were Yannick's one of the best spinners I've seen.
He absolutely is when it comes to celebrating a touchdown.
Brandon, that timestamp was 59 minutes, so don't forget that.
And when he does it, he does it so nonchalantly, like he doesn't even look at his own spin. He just spins it and walks away, and that ball spins for a good 45 seconds.
Checkmate.
No doubt. So, guys, we're going to get to the scores in just a few minutes, but I did have a topic to bring up, which I told you guys in the green room. I want to get your thoughts on. We found out this week that we are not going to have the Wake Forest game at home. It was supposed to be in 27. Is that right? Off the top of my head,
that's correct.
Okay, so I know how each of you feel, but I know our fans. We haven't had a chance to talk about that yet, so just wanted to get y'all's opinion on it. Who wants to? Kyle, do you want to take the mic first?
Yeah, sure. I'd like to know how much Gilbert fought Wake Forest on this. I don't know. Can we? If the buyouts in the contract, if they're willing to pay the whole buyout, which I'd like to know what that number is. Can we dispute them on
right?
it?
750,000.
I haven't heard. Is that what you heard?
I don't know.
Okay, can we dispute them on it? Can we say no? We want you to play the game. Did he try to fight them on it? I don't know. I'd love to know that. But I do know that the ACC is going to 9 games.
Right.
9-game conference schedule. You don't. I'd like. When you look at what else is out there, this doesn't seem to be. Who else is out there? Who has openings? This doesn't seem to be happening. To use a John Gilbert term, to other schools like us. Other upper echelon so-called group of 5 teams. When you look at who's available to schedule, it's Louisiana Monroe, it's Eastern Michigan, with apologies to our buddy Scott Weatherby. It's schools like that have these openings. Utah State would be the outliner, being in the Pac-12. 700,000 is about okay. So it financially is beneficial to us, but I'm very concerned about non-conference scheduling going forward. It's never been. Look, let me be clear. Gilbert is good at some things. Gilbert did a good job hiring Blake Harrell. He didn't overcomplicate it. He didn't overthink it. Blake did a good job as interim head coach. He didn't try to look outside. He promoted them, and Blake's done a good job. I think Gilbert is very physically responsible. I think he manages our money well. I think he does a good job of trying to fund football. I think he makes football first. He makes it a priority. I think, at the so-called group of 5, now group of 6 level, we do a good job, and we're going to do a good job with revenue sharing going forward. And so he does some things well, but he some things he's not good at. One of them is scheduling at all. If you look at what he's done scheduling since he's been here, this Wake Forest series was scheduled by Confer. We had the Boise State series scheduled by Confer, and Gilbert let it go. The games that Gilbert have scheduled has been Liberty, Old Dominion, Coastal Carolina. We need to, we're not going to get very many more Power 4 schools to come to Greenville in the short term. Who knows what it's going to look like 5-6 years from now? It could be better, it could be worse. But we really desperately need to, and I'll get to the Pac-12 in a minute. We desperately need to get a long-term series, and I don't know why this hasn't been done or hasn't been announced, because I know both schools want to do it. We need a long-term series with Appalachian State. The last game of the series is next year. That needs to be signed. We need to have like an 8-game deal with them. Same with James Madison. That's another school that's a regional football power that we need to be playing regularly. Those are 2 teams that will draw in Greenville. They both will bring fans to Greenville, and our fans already love playing App State. I think we could build a rivalry with JMU. So those are 2 teams we need to play. Also, Pac-12. Pac-12 is a conference that is going to be playing 8 conference games, meaning 7 conference games, because there's only 8 conference members. So they have 5 non-conference games to schedule. So I would be on the phone with Boise State again. I'd be on the phone with Washington State, Oregon State, Colorado State. They have name recognition. And we're going to need some schools like that to draw. You can't look in 2027. Our non-conference home games are Western Carolina and Georgia State. Now with Wake Forest off, who's out there to replace them with is Eastern Michigan, Louisiana Monroe. Who? JR, do you remember who else?
Utah State, you said, was one of the upper echelon lower tier.
Yeah, Utah State's available. There's a handful of other like MAC, Sunbelt Conference USA schools that are available. One thing I think we may try to do, and this is just speculation on my part, Coastal Carolina has an opening in 27. They need a game.
Yeah.
And we are scheduled to play them in Greenville in 28. The first thing I would do if I was John Gilbert, first thing I'd do is see if there was any way we could get App State on the schedule. Second thing I'd do is call Coastal, say, hey,
Yep.
look, let's move that game to 27. You need a game for 27. And then you go get your bye game in 28 if you can put a bye, because I think what they're looking for is a bye game for 27. So let's move that Coastal game up to 27 if they're willing to do it. And then they can have their bye game in 28. And then that gives us more time to find another opponent for 28, because obviously 28 is further away than 27. So that would be my approach if I was Gilbert at this point, is to try to move that Coastal game up to 27 since they need a game. Let them do their bye game they're looking for in 28, and then we'll find us another opponent for 28 to replace Coastal with. But otherwise, you're probably looking at, I don't. JR, do you think we should say this publicly, or do you think we should keep it private what we, know about a certain school?
Yeah, I'll let you decide. You call that one.
All right. Well, I won't name the school, but there is a school that we're friendly with the AD with, and he has said that he would be willing to change some things around to play East Carolina.
Oh wow!
They're about to sign a FCS contract to play an FCS opponent for that date, but they are willing to basically be bought to take East Carolina as a small buy game. Is what it sounds like. So that's a possibility.
Hey, but Kyle, I just want to add, and the FCS team that they're scheduled
we're
to
not
play.
looking, Kenny. We're not looking. I'm sorry, Jr.
Kenny,
we're not looking for a bye game. We need a home game.
Yeah. So anyhow, the team that you're speaking of that has already scheduled an FCS opponent, but has not actually signed the contract. That FCS opponent is probably the worst FCS team.
I've never heard of them.
Mercyhurst.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want them on my schedule. I mean, I wouldn't go to the game if East Carolina was playing Mercyhurst. I would watch on TV, and I wouldn't even go.
Yeah. So that's so that team that's maybe playing them, who we don't want to say, that they're interested. So that's a potential opponent. And so let's say we get them. They're not going to. So we'll just say we'll say it's a MAC or a Conference USA school, okay, without giving away who it is. And so your home schedule is going to be them, Georgia State, Campbell, non-conference. So that's why really I think the best bet at this point would be to try to move that Coastal game from 28 to 27. And since, like I said, Coastal has the opening for 27.
Well, it's a matter, once again, we understand the whole Wake Forest situation. However, I will say one thing. I will say is there's 134, 136,
136.
Yes, going up to 136. So yes, we have a tough time playing guys in the ACC. Yes, the SEC.
Well, no. To be fair, where you're going with this, Gilbert has made it clear it has to be an FBS opponent. We already have one FCS on the schedule, so he has made it very clear. If you're going by that post on HTC, the person who titled that misheard him in the interview.
No. I
was just gonna say that. Go ahead, then come to me because I have something to add to that.
Okay. No. I didn't know anything about that particular thing. I was just simply saying if you look at the scheduling as a whole, again, let me make it very clear so people listen and watch this show that are in the Ward Sports Medicine building. I have nothing personally against Gilbert. I have nothing against Ryan Robinson. They're both great guys. My thing is scheduling is a big deal. As an AD in football, that's your job. And we've got to get, if you take away, I will just say this, take away the bye games, take away the FCS, and what do you have? And so my thing is you've got to, yes, I know his philosophy. I agree that there's great when I can go to ODU. It's great if I can go to Coastal. It's great if I can go to App State. I would love to play.
I don't know why we don't have a longer term series with that state.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying, but the AD at App.
Gilbert hasn't. This App State series is signed by Comfort. Gilbert hasn't even got the series signed with App State.
I know that.
It is mind boggling.
Yeah, and so what I'm getting at is, I'm not saying. So I'm clear. I'm not saying scheduling is easy. It's not easy. We don't have to be in the room with these guys to know that it's not easy. But you need to be working your tail off on getting the bye games. Hell, anybody can get a bye game because they want you to come there and they beat the hell out of you. That's what I mean. They're gonna give you money for it, right? The Alabama's the world, Clemson, the one that we have Northwestern on there. But we've got to have the mentality. I've said it we've got to have the mentality that we had in the 90s when Brandon was here, that we can beat anyone on the
Brandon wasn't here in the 90s.
No, I'm so early 2000s. No, 08, 09, I think. Sorry. But what I'm trying to get at is the fact that the mentality is not there. We're not a team that needs to be having a whole bunch of bye games. The FCS, I'm not a fan of FCS. I've made that very clear. It is what it is.
Let me jump in, Dave.
Go ahead.
I say this every time. Every SEC, every Big Ten, everybody plays an FCS team. You have to, and you should. But whoever was freaking out that we're going to play two FCS teams and, replacing Wake Forest with another FCS team, if that were to happen, whoever would make that deal needs to immediately resign, because you don't get credit for the win. You're only allowed one FCS win counting towards your bowl eligibility. So if you schedule two and you win them both, it doesn't even count. So we should never not play an FCS team, but nobody should ever play two, because they would be shooting themselves in the foot. It'd be ridiculous. And real quick with Wake Forest, I honestly don't think that Gilbert had anything to do with that. I mean, if the contract was written, because I was telling Brandon before the show, last year Mississippi came to Wake Forest and beat them 48-6. And then the AD announced within hours after the game that they were canceling their game in Oxford for this season. And they paid him $1 million. Mississippi took the $1 million, but they weren't happy because it was really difficult for them to find a game at that late notice. They did end up doing it. But
that's piss.
It was in the contract, though, so there's nothing they could do about it. And I feel like Gilbert didn't have anything he could do about it. I mean, it was in the contract that they could buy out the contract, and that's what they did.
Yeah, and if that's the case, then there was nothing Gilbert could do about it. Probably the one thing, and maybe Gilbert is actually smarter than me with this because this is just how I am. When they told me that we're buying out the 27 game, I'd have said, cool. We'll take an extra $300,000 if you want us to come in 28, or you can cancel that one too. I would not be going to Winston-Salem in 28, and I know a lot of people are going to disagree with that. They're going to say,
I agree with that. I agree with that.
If you do it for what is here's the thing, the precedent is set right now. We're already fighting the whole P4 crap and all that, but now it just says all you have to do is those people in Greenville, they'll just roll right over. And yes, I understand this.
Yeah, I don't think you could have done anything about 27, but you probably should have canceled 28. Because I think what that does say, Dave, is for Carolina and NC State in the future, we'll play you East Carolina
at our place.
Yep, we'll give you a bye game. So that's why I would have probably said, Wake, we were not going to play you in 28 either. Even though it would have put us in a tougher situation for scheduling, that's probably the way I would have handled it.
And I won't out the person who said this, but I just want to get a poll from our listeners and viewers right now. How many of you are actually excited to play Wake anyway?
Oh, I am. I was looking forward to it.
You're looking forward to it?
I was looking forward to it. Hell yeah, they're good. Are you kidding me? They're good this year. I mean, they're an ACC opponent. They're good. I was definitely looking forward to it, and I'd love to play them in a bowl game this year, particularly even more now.
Well, I'll take that. I'll take it.
I was looking forward to it for another reason, just because anytime you can beat an in-state school that's in the ACC, whether they're good or not, really, I don't even care.
Well, I've been
If
looking
we
for a
could,
copy of the 1997 Wake Forest game since 1997, so I care.
I know you have.
Well, I don't know
Now,
when you find that. Yeah,
I
Kenneth,
actually like the Wake game better because they're beatable. So that's why I was looking forward to it.
I just my thing is, again, scheduling is atrocious. I'm sorry. I would like to. Gilbert has done a lot of great things, but scheduling has never been.
Gilbert needs to be more open-minded about scheduling. He should not have canceled the Boise series, and it should have.
That was Mike Houston. That was Mike Houston.
No, it's John Gilbert, because if you allow your head coach to tell you who you're going to play on
I
your
know that.
schedule, then it goes to the AD.
You and I agree with that. I'm just saying that basically, Houston made a comment about that game, like, "Well, in the world, we're gonna go all the way to Idaho to play a game because it's Boise."
That would have been fun right there, man. That would have been.
That's
fun.
why you play the home and home. What people need to understand in the Ward Sports Medicine building, and this is something I've been trying to avoid saying, but I'm going to say it now, is that we are the customers. Give the damn customers what they want.
Yeah, and I'm going to harp on this again, and then we'll get off this topic unless somebody else has something they want to say on it. Again, the Pac-12, but how in the world John Gilbert, has not extended that series with App State. Again, that series was signed by Jeff Confer, and
it was a 3-game series, right?
4, one in Charlotte, one in Boone, 2 in Greenville. So I don't, for the life of me, because I know App State wants to play it. So the reason somebody's going to have to explain to me how that series and why that series has not been extended. That is one of the dumbest. Boise's coming to Boone is correct.
Yep.
Yes, correct. That is one of the dumbest things I've ever. The fact that we have not extended the series with App State,
that's important. Yeah, we need that game like that. That is, I love ECU playing App State, man. I love that. I love that. I love watching that.
Home with UNLV, I would be for that, Kenneth. Absolutely.
Yeah, that'll be a fun one too.
Vegas, Brandon's like, big.
I'm pulling up, man. I get my ticket right now.
Well, they're still in the Mountain West, so I mean, I'm thinking Pac-12 because they're, again, 5 non-conference games is what they're going to be looking to schedule for the short term. But guys, we want to give our scores and go on and get out of here. We've been going for over an hour.
Yeah, and I got a couple quick things before we get out. But yeah, go ahead and put your scores, your predictions in that. By the way, Pays, what's up, brother? Rutgers needs a home and home. I was hoping to see you at homecoming. I missed you.
Yeah, that would be great, but I don't think that's going to happen.
Man, I tell you what, that's the kind of schools, right? And I agree with you, Kyle. But that's the kind of schools right there in the so-called P4 that a game that will be a good matchup.
Wake Forest is probably going to play them home and home. That's probably why they dropped us.
Oh, let's see. Kenneth says, knowing Gilbert, it'll be Georgia State or UNL Monroe.
We already have Georgia State on the schedule that year, Kenneth.
Yes, we do. Yeah.
All right. Here's the first prediction. Robert. Oh, jumped up on me. Robert says 35-31 ECU. I like what you're thinking, Robert. And go ahead. Who wants to go first on your predictions?
I'm gonna say it happened 2 times. It's gonna happen 3 times. East Carolina 38, Memphis 37 overtime.
Oh, overtime. Okay. All right. Justin says 37-31.
JR, what you got?
Well, first of all, I have one more scheduling comment. Hey, give John Gilbert some credit. He was able to get Elizabeth City State in here tomorrow night for basketball.
Oh my! I was going to talk about that.
Hey man,
hey, look at Memphis's schedule.
That's reasonable.
Yeah, look at Memphis's basketball schedule. They play, some lower level Division I teams. They don't play any Division II teams, and it's a slap in the face against fans that are buying tickets that we have. That's not even a game worth going to. I'm sorry. You're not going to learn anything from that game. The players aren't going to get better from that game. I hate it. I'm not going, and that's the end of my rant. So I'll give a score now.
Be there, but I won't be happy about that. But
I'm not going.
Elizabeth City, man. That's a robbery. Hey, that's a
that's
regional
right.
game, man.
Talking
That's a
about-
regional game.
You talking about
And
school that
North
you
Carolina Wesleyan, the same deal. We played them twice. We played Coker before. I mean, it's
Yeah,
crazy.
Coker.
What is Coker? I don't even know. I don't even know where they are. I think South Carolina or
Co-
something.
Yeah, I think so.
Central Connecticut State sounds like a prison. Like
Well, that's the Division I school.
Yeah, exactly. They're legit. Okay.
What's your score, Jeff?
I'm getting concerned because everybody's right in line with everybody else. Mine was we're going to be losing 30-28 to Memphis until Nick Mazie hits a game-winning field goal to make it 31-30.
Oh man, you stole my.
So you got winning
That's
by
clever,
one
man. That's clever.
Interesting.
That's clever.
Kraft 2149.
Ooh,
Byron
okay.
31. He's bullish. How about
Man.
All right.
Kenny 40?
Woo. Okay.
All right.
Wow. Okay.
Hey, Kenny's track record is pretty good though on score picking.
I
Yeah,
like
he
it.
has been doing good. I'll take that, Kenny, all day long.
Mm.
So,
Brandon, what you got?
Oh, me? So just, I was just comparing the stats, and there's a lot of stuff that has to go right. But I have ECU 38, Memphis 35. I think that it's going to be a field goal that decides it. I do think that Memphis is going to figure out ways to score because they are talented. But I think because we're home, we're going to figure out a way to, make stops when we need to make the stops. But I do think that it's going to go down to a field goal. I really do. But just to add a little bit of fun to it, I said 38-35.
Kenneth says 35 ECU, Memphis 24. And I feel like, man, I've just felt like the whole day Mazie wins the game 31-28. So I'm another guy that thinks it's going to be not only tight, but it's going to be a walk-off, a last-second field goal.
Yeah, that's fine.
And Kyle is going to rush the field.
Now, I'm under the impression that Memphis is going to keep their quarterback the whole time. But if he's unable to go, I can definitely see that thing spreading open. But I'm just under the impression that he's going to be there the whole time. That they'll try to keep
using the analytics instead of analytics. He says 38-28 Pirates.
Yeah, 10 point. Yeah.
Hey, I want to add something to what Brandon just said. I think that Lewis is definitely going. No matter how dinged up he may be, he's going. Yeah. And if he can't finish the game, I don't think we're going to be seeing the guy that came in against Tulane. I think we're going to be seeing A.J. Hill. Okay, so real quick, A.J. Hill's thrown the ball 25 times, all of them against UAB, and ran 0 times. He never ran. Now, Maiden, on the other hand, ran 5 times and only threw 7. Yep. So I think if Lewis goes out, they're going to try to they're not going to be able to run against us. I think they're going to bring in A.J. Hill.
Yeah, that's going to make it hard, yeah.
Yeah.
But, I mean, you can, Brandon, what kind of matchups? I mean, you can, when it's a team's one-dimensional like that, you can just pretty much –
Well, part of it, and I know we're getting ready to shut it down, but part of the reason why Memphis is as prolific as they are on offense is because they basically have a +1 offense, which simply means that they're going to run their quarterback if you don't have enough defenders in the box, and if you have too many defenders in the box, they're going to throw the ball. Since they're unable to do that because their quarterback is banged up, I think that just changes everything that they want to do offensively. At the end of the day, if they wanted to, be pure air raid, well, they would have made that decision at the beginning of the year, right? They want to run their quarterback. They want to, add him to the run game so that they can throw the ball downfield. So if you're just handing it off and just throwing it when everyone knows that that's going to happen, that just takes a lot of the mystique away from their offensive system.
Yeah. All right. Would you say that USF, they're a +1 offense as well with Brown?
Yep. Yes, sir. And yeah.
And maybe even Retzloff at Tulane might be a +1.
Well, and that's what it is like right now. So just to give y'all some insight about what's going on in college football, connecting to the high school game, most college coaches, when they're recruiting the quarterback position, the first question they ask is, can he run? And if he can run, then his stock is going to go up. Simply because most coaches want to add that offensive player to their, they want to have a extra runner in the run game. And if he's just a pure drop back passer, just throwing the ball over the yard, not to say that he's not a good quarterback, but he's not as recruited. He's not as highly recruited as the guys that can move. That's just what offensive football has turned into. It's just a +1.
And we said that with Bear Bachmeyer too.
Correct.
Pay says that we need Navy to beat USF at noon, and as JR said early in the show,
that's gonna be a good game.
That's gonna be a really good.
That's gonna be a good game. I'm gonna be checking in on that game too. So during timeouts, I'm definitely gonna be checking that game out. That's gonna be a good game.
Kenneth says we'll get another pick six late in the fourth quarter.
I love it. Let's get a pick six.
Winning this game will, Kenneth says, will get people to take notice nationally.
Huge.
What are the chances? I guess is there a chance we could creep in at number 24, 25 this week?
No.
Well. So here's the deal. If we come out and if we beat them by like 3 to 4 touchdowns, like we're going to be ranked. Like we're going to be. I could see us being in like the top 23 if we beat them by 3 to 4 touchdowns. But if it's close by a field goal, then definitely no. But if we dominate them, like just dominate them, we're going to be in the top 23.
You got me excited now, Brandon.
Oh, well, it's the truth. I mean, because Memphis is a respected program, and the outsiders don't know how dinged their quarterback up, how dinged their quarterback is. At one point in time, Memphis was in the football playoff, was potentially in the college football playoffs, and they're going through issues right now, durability issues. But a lot of people that don't follow Memphis week to week don't know that. They're just looking at Memphis, like, oh, that's a good football program. And they've seen ECU on TV. They see us barely lose to NC State. They see us play neck and neck with BYU. They see that we barely lost to Tulane. I mean, we got a good football team. We just haven't taken care of business consistently against those teams. But I mean, we got a good team this year.
Shout out, by the way, really quick before we get out of here, with Coach Kim McNeil. They got a win last night over Charleston Southern, and man, I tell you what, they've got a scorer, Barner. She scored 32 points, JR.
I thought it was 31, but it might have been 32.
You're right, 31. It was 31 points, I believe, off the top of my head. Barner scores 31. We win 91-62. A good win.
Wow.
At Williams Arena. And then, like you said, the Elizabeth City State game tomorrow night. And main thing is, I think people right now, to be honest, no offense to basketball, but I think most Pirate fans right now are thinking about Saturday. Yeah. And, they're getting ready for Saturday with the tailgates. And get your tickets, 1-800-DIAL-ECU.
But Dave, I will admit, I will watch every second of the game tomorrow night. I wouldn't go, like I'm not going there, but I will watch every second just so I know what's going on of the basketball game.
What versus ECSU?
Yes, versus Elizabeth City State.
Yeah, Elizabeth City State. Yeah, the mighty Vikings. Yeah. Well, I mean, there's a lot of people like there's a lot of connection there. I actually went there as a freshman before I transferred to ECU, right? So I know all about the Vikings up there in Elizabeth City. But there's actually a lot more connections than people know between Elizabeth City and Greenville and Elizabeth City. So.
Yeah, it's just playing a
division.
Yeah, Peace Craft set makes a great point. Man, that Tulane loss was good. Like we would if we had taken care of that one started out really well. But anyway, nothing we can do about that now. There's nothing we can do about it. We got to focus on the 3 we have left. This case, coach will tell me one game at a time. Coach,
that's it, man. That's it, Coach. Even Coach Harold Robinson, like when he was out there with us, for the high school relations. I mean, he'll oftentimes have those magical speeches with us, and it was the same, man. Just control what you can control, and let the outsiders, talk about everything else. But all we have to do is just win our matchups. That's all we have to do, and what's going to be is going to be.
No doubt. Tell us, I know that you've moved to Vance County, right? Before we let you go, how are things this year?
Oh, absolutely, man. So this past season, I completed my 16th year coaching high school football. I'm also teaching as well. But yeah, like you said, I teach and coach at Vance County High School in Henderson, North Carolina, just north of Franklinton and Wake Forest. But I still live in Raleigh. I enjoyed the show. We did make the playoffs. We got eliminated in the first round. Had a very young team, but with each game we did get better. But right now I'm just, getting ready to start training again. It was pretty cool to see one of my proteges, Tymir Brown, have a good game on Saturday. He came from my program from Jacksonville High School. So I'm very excited about tracking ECU football now. And most importantly, getting podcasts back going and helping high school coaches across North Carolina through North Carolina Football Connection. So I got a lot more time now. So right now I can just be a fan and just observe what's going on. But I'll definitely be in the building on Saturday. Can't wait for that one.
Hey, Brandon, what's your commute from Raleigh to Henderson?
It's about a 45-minute commute, just Capitol Boulevard all the way up. As long as I get out of Raleigh at a reasonable time, I'm fine, man, because that traffic, man, it's crazy in the time.
It's rough. I do have two Suns updates, and we found out today that hopefully it's okay for a share, but Chase Simmons is going to be playing, Matt Simmons' son's going to be playing at Marist. So really happy for him for that. And I just found out during the show, I've been waiting till the end.
Be playing where? What are you talking about?
Marist. He committed to Marist.
He's going to be a Red Fox.
Yep, the baseball team.
Not from Sanford and Son. I'm talking about the Red Foxes from.
Chase is already a senior.
No,
he's a class of 27, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he committed.
So he's going to Marist. Okay.
And then, yeah, go ahead. What were you going to say, Colin?
Well, congratulations to Chase.
Yep. And then my son Alex made the basketball team. I just found that out during the show.
Oh man, that's huge, Dave.
Yeah. So I felt good about it, but as a dad, I was talking about this. We'll get to here, but I was talking about it supper tonight. Your couple was listening to what we were talking about and telling them, I said, I get more nervous watching my kids play sports than when I played. Because you can't do anything about it and you want them to win so bad.
Yeah. Hey, I don't know if you listened on last Saturday at the Pirate Walk, but I was trying to, talk him up and let him know that what he's already accomplished by making the cut was really cool. And, don't be crushed if you don't make the team. But darn, I undersold him. Congratulations, Alec.
Yeah. So we're excited about that, and
big time.
I've wanted to share it as soon as I found out, but we have a show to do. So, guys, Brandon, man, you're the best. We appreciate you. It was so great to see you in person on Saturday. Hopefully, we can run into each other again on Saturday. And man, do you have any final thoughts before we get out of here?
I mean, anytime I get a chance to link up with you guys, I mean, we've been rocking together for quite some time, man. Anytime I get a chance to connect with you guys, it's all fun all the time. Appreciate all you guys are doing for ECU football, well, ECU athletics in general. Really appreciate you guys' takes, and most importantly, thank you for inviting me to be a part of this. I'll never pass up on these opportunities. So I appreciate all you guys are doing for ECU athletics and for the football program.
Well, I had to invite a guy on that's won two conference championships with the Pirates, and we were talking pre-show rather, Brandon, about I didn't think it was going to be this long. Like you guys, 2008, 2009, I thought it would be like during the Carden years with Justin Hardy and all those guys, but didn't happen. But hey, we still have work to do. But our resume speaks for itself, and I'll take a 9-3 regular season and win a bowl game. I was going to say that earlier in the show. Hey, only the third time in school history that we'd have 10 wins. So we'll take that. If that's a lot of football between now and then. Kyle, do you have anything before we get out of here?
Not a thing.
Johnny, do you have anything before we get out of here?
I'll just say, if we finish 9-3 and we don't make the conference championship game, we're still co-conference champions of the regular season, and we are champions. So they can never take that from us.
Yep. Yeah. And, Kenneth says he's going to be graduating December 13th for the University of Florida with a master's degree. Shout out to Kenneth. He's one of our regulars, and man, that's a huge deal. And I
It is.
know it's
Wow.
Master's Creed
Congratulations.
from the Gator. You're a Gator, a Pirate Gator. I don't know, but anyway,
Yeah, Pirate
that's
Gator.
that's a good thing.
Congratulations, Kenneth.
Congratulations.
But, and he's also happy we're a bowl eligible. So
Yes, don't forget about that. Yeah. And so, but before we sign off, what are a few bowls that's starting to float around out there? And I know there's a lot. I know there's a lot that's.
The tie-ins would be Military,
Okay.
Fenway,
Okay.
Myrtle Beach,
Boca Bowl,
Boca Raton, the Gasparilla, Birmingham, Montgomery.
Wow. Okay. So a lot of possibilities
Independence.
right now.
So yeah, there's quite a few different ones.
That's a good conversation to have. Love it.
Yeah. I said East Carolina versus Clemson. I know Kyle doesn't want to end up Fenway Bowl.
Ooh,
So
man, I got to figure out a way to get there, man.
Get your jacket. Yeah, get your jackets.
Oh yeah. You think it's gonna be snowing?
I don't know, but it snowed here yesterday at my house. So that was crazy. I thought my daughter was crazy. She said, "Dad, it's snowing," and I was like, "What?" I was just waking up and I looked out.
My dad said they got like a half an inch in where he lives, in between Williamson and Jamesville.
Wow.
Yeah, that's what we got. By the way, Kyle was going to tell you that with that Fenway Bowl, isn't that Fenway Bowl like the day before, like the 23rd? Like it's right before.
I have no idea. I haven't checked bowl dates.
But anyway, regardless, I'm just happy we're going to definitely be bowling, so that'll be great. And the next level is what we've talked about. Okay, we had selling hope. Selling a bowl. We won the bowl. We're consistently in bowls now.
Yeah.
Now we're climbing up for conference champions to be like
there you go.
So
right on time, man. And it's funny that you just mentioned that about the championships, and like it's crazy because while that was happening, we knew that there was a chance that we can win or be good. But for it to happen, that was pretty awesome. But since then, we have so many like Hall of Fame players and elite coaches, and it's a little disappointing that we haven't won anymore. But I will say that, and that doesn't take anything away from the teams that we've seen since our run. But it's pretty cool to see that our program is starting to return to the championship like conversation. And a lot of that, the credit goes to the coaching staff for evaluating talent, bringing in that type of talent that could, start at other places, Power 4 programs. So I think that's pretty cool that our names are starting to be mentioned a lot more in the conversation for championships. I really do.
How about Wake Forest and the Fenway Bowl?
Yeah, hey man, that's fine with me.
Or Virginia.
Hey Dave, that would give us 11 different states that we've played in a bowl game. And we're currently at 10 right now. We're currently at 10. And Alabama, we played more than any other state, 7 times.
I love Johnny. So
that's a good stat. That's a good stat right there.
We're in 10 states now.
Yep.
Oh, okay. And 11. So it'll be 11th state, Massachusetts Bowl. Well, we'll know we're playing in a bowl. We'll find out more. That will be obviously in December. We'll find out that. So we just got to take care of business, and whatever happens, happens. So
that's it. All
right, guys. Well, thank you, Brandon. Thank you, Kyle. Thank you, Johnny. Thanks to all the viewers and listeners. We appreciate you very much. Don't forget, there goes Kyle. We leave the show, but we're gonna have our show Sunday night, regardless of what happens at 8:00, and we'll have our Pirate football playback. Don't forget to like us on all the social media and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Until next time, it's been real. We'll see you next time. Go Pirates.
You're watching The Sports Objective, the podcast for Pirates.